Do we really all have psychic powers? Yes, we do. Even you. Stay tuned. I've got everything you need to know. What's up, beautiful? It's Lisa Roulette, and I'm here to help you heal, navigate your ascension journey, and create a life you love. If you're in the midst of your spiritual awakening, or you find yourself to be a starseed, empath, or light worker, you are absolutely in the right place. So please hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications to be notified every time we release a new video. Today, we're talking about psychic abilities, and we're going to first talk about A, why we don't recognize we have them, B, what your psychic ability might be, and C, how you can start to work with your natural psychic powers. Now, I know a lot of you out there already know what your psychic abilities are, but we're going to talk specifically about the Clairs: Clairvoyant, Clairsentient, Clairaudient, and Claircognizant. And the reason we're going to start with those is because those are usually the basis from which more pointed, niche-oriented psychic abilities come from, like mediumship or telepathy or psychometry. So when you start to identify with the Clairs, then you can really dive into that ability and develop it further through practice. But before I dive into the full video, if you could do me a huge favor, if you dig my vibe, there's an 8-question survey in the description of this video below that's going to help me develop content and classes in going forward. I would be so grateful if you would click on that link in the description of the video below and do me a solid by filling out that survey. So let's talk about what a psychic ability is. A psychic ability is an ability to perceive things beyond the 5 senses. And most of us don't think this is possible because we are always using our 5 senses. We're just very in tune with the 5 senses, and so we've tuned out anything beyond them. Now, one of the reasons that we've tuned out what's beyond them is because we live inside of systems that only stimulate the 5 senses. And this is a really challenging subject because we, for many years, have been slaves to a system that are designed to keep our psychic abilities quiet or really at bay. And the reason that is because our systems are designed to serve a certain few and not the whole of humanity. For instance, one such system would be our education system, which largely teaches us about English, arithmetic, science, and things that aren't necessarily relevant to this day and age, like our history, which in large part can be considered fabricated in order to make us think and believe that we've come from somewhere that we haven't come from. And I know that's a little challenging to sort of grasp and understand, but as you develop your psychic abilities, all of this information about our history will inevitably start to flood in. But we are entering an age where our education system needs to shift. It needs to shift into a system that teaches us who we really are as energy and teaches us about the universe as energy and the reason we're here. And the reason we're here is to manipulate energy and to create pristine manifestations that are geared toward unity and compassion and kindness. We're really here to create heaven on earth instead of a sort of, I guess I could call it a somewhat of a slave system, that our consciousness is being controlled by systems. And there are a lot of videos on this channel about that, particularly in terms of our financial systems and our healthcare systems, and of course our education systems. But all in all, the systems that we live in are designed to dumb down our psychic abilities, those 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th senses that make us truly multidimensional and enable us to see energy beyond just the 3rd dimensional realm. Now, in the 3rd dimensional realm, even, there is still a lot of energy that we don't see on a regular basis. Some people might call these angels, elementals, or even aliens. And these energies exist, but we are numb to them. We can't get past the veil of illusion that there is nothing more than who we are on the earth at this time. And I think we have reached a point in time where that's becoming less and less believable, that we are here only as us and that there is nothing else on earth or in the universe that is actually part of a universal system of energy that affects us all, right? Our energy affects everything in the universe, and all of the energy in the universe affects us. And it is time that we wake up to that. And one of the ways that we wake up to that is by practicing our psychic abilities. So let's talk about the clairs and how you might be able to identify with one of them and also start to develop it so that you can really start to develop your overall psychic nature and awareness. So let's start with clairvoyance. Clairvoyance encompasses an ability to see into the future and into the past. It allows you to know what's either going to happen or what has happened. Now, you may be clairvoyant if you have a very active imagination. You might wake up in the middle of the night with ideas that you cannot put to rest, and therefore you cannot go back to sleep. And you may be a visual learner. If you feel that you are clairvoyant, one of the strongest things that you can do is to work to open that third eye and to relate to the vision of the third eye, which also sees inside and outside. Now, I have a third eye Reiki attunement that I'll link in the description of the video below. So if that's you, I would definitely start working on that third eye and that meditative state about seeing the internal realm and beyond the third dimensional reality in the external realm. The next Clair is Clairsentience, or an ability to feel emotional undercurrents. A lot of people who are clairsentient are also empaths. I am clairsentient, so I can read energy through my feelings. Now, one of the most difficult challenges that a clairsentient person has is that they have a very difficult time separating their energy from the energies that they sense, and thus they also have very weak energetic boundaries. If you haven't seen my video on energetic boundaries, I'll link that in the description of the video below as well. But it's really important for clairsentience to notice their mood swings and to really master the art of surrender. In the art of surrender, we can discern which energies belong to us and which energies don't belong to us. And oftentimes what ends up happening when we have energies that don't really belong to us in the auric field is that they drive us to do things that we don't necessarily want to do. It can make us feel very uncomfortable, very weak, and oftentimes out of control. And what you want to do as a clairsentient is really get more in control of that energy so that as energies come in, yes, you know whether they belong to you or they don't belong to you, but also an ability to read the energies that come in, because as you start to read the energies that come in, you'll also know what to do with them. Next, we have the clairaudience. A clairaudient is someone who can hear things. A lot of people who have tinnitus are clairaudients, or that ringing in the ears. This is the Western medical definition of the ringing in the ears. But if clairaudients slow down enough, they will start to hear not just ringing, but actual language and sound from that ringing. And those hold a tremendous amount of information. For you guys, it's going to be very important that you practice stillness and become increasingly aware of the sounds around you. Now, I'm not suggesting that you focus on the ringing in your ears, but just really allowing sound to come into your awareness and see if you can't maybe translate it as a message or decode it as a message, because inevitably, if this is your psychic ability, there are a lot of messages waiting for you. And finally, Claircognizance. This is just an ability to know without knowing why or how you know. You guys are amazing problem solvers, really, really strong problem solvers. You have a very good sense of your gut, and you typically act on your gut successfully. You don't normally trip over things because you just know how to get from point A to point B. Now, for you guys, journaling is going to be a very important activity to really receive those internal messages, to take what's coming in as downloads and really translate them onto paper to see a map from point A to point B. The more you can map out the movement from the download and then as it applies into this third dimensional realm, the stronger you'll become. You guys are really good at listening to someone's problems and then just boom, knowing the solution for them. You're also great lie detectors. You can very easily spot a liar any day of the week. So keep a journal, make sure that you're decoding the messages that comes in. And that's really important for all of the Clairs, to decode the messages that come in. Every single Clair is going to benefit from meditation, or if you're not a good meditator, just stillness, allowing yourself to be in the awareness that you do have a psychic ability, and that your psychic ability could be the basis of your psychic ability is coming in through one of the Clairs. So which one are you? Clairaudient, Clairvoyant, Clairsentient, or Claircognizant? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, you guys. That's a wrap for this video. Make sure you also fill out that survey for me. I really appreciate it. It's going to help me, help you in going forward. Don't forget to stay in the luminosity of your beautiful light, and you are loved.